Homeland Security Secretary, I'm not sure you're going to introduce you all the way.
Mr. Depp, you're down 95%. Have you ever considered selling?
No, I can't. That's a... no.
G'day everyone. Welcome to DeFi Down Under Happy Hour here in Australia. We got Hexagon for his first time out, streaming ever. So thanks for putting your balls on the line and coming out for a chat. It's really cool. And 43, of course, the OG of OGs. How you going, guys?
Yeah, good.
Had my balls on the line for a long time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, that's a bit like what Rich has been talking about, hasn't he? He's been saying, there's people out there taking some risks, for the greater good. So I think that's, this isn't really a risk. I don't see that, but, we're putting our face out there and putting some effort in to have a chat and spread some good word and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's really good having new people out here.
Absolutely. Welcome to Hexy McHexagon.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
It's good fun jumping on the stream, mate. It's good fun.
Yeah. I think I said this to you earlier, True Blue. Like, it feels like we're talking amongst ourselves a bit at the moment. Like, we're not punching through into any new sort of territory, not breaking through to the meme coin degenerates and what have you at the moment.
Yeah.
No, but that's sure. Okay. Like,
look, guys, people who are already in crypto, they come into it from whichever angle they come in, and they're already tainted is not the right word, but they've already got their framing of crypto. I think it's much better idea to talk to people who aren't in crypto, who like try and get them interested in crypto and perhaps help them set up a wallet and just learn about crypto and why crypto exists. Because I've got to be honest, I think sometimes when I see what goes on Twitter, I think some people out there who are in crypto maybe have forgotten like why crypto was invented. Like why, I mean, I can understand people when they're in crypto, like, making profits, doing this, doing that. Fair enough. But crypto was created so that people could transact peer-to-peer. And I think it's important to remember that, that point. But I guess that's not why, what we're talking about to begin with this week. We want to talk about Maddie Allen's effort, right? Which was to come out and say, hey, there's this thing going on, this case going on in South Carolina, which involves Hex, and there's nothing out there like on the defensive side for Hex. Maybe there should be an amicus brief or something prepared by a lawyer. Yeah. And he got out there and put it out there to raise the funds to pay for this lawyer to do this work. So I think that's a good thing for Hex, the Hex community, because you definitely need something to defend some of these what seem like to me. I mean, I don't know. I haven't read it, but on the surface, it seems like they're like just cheeky sort of ambulance chasing type lawsuits, which are just looking to, I don't know, set sort of precedents. I think it's good that we have something there that to defend. You know, our the community's thoughts on the whole thing. But what do you guys reckon?
This is all new to me, but who's brought the case and who's it against? It's a civil case, I take it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about it. 43 will probably be able to fill you in a bit more than me.
I don't know the specifics about who brought the case. All I know, all I heard or read on X was that someone had bought the very top of the last Hex cycle and lost money, and then because they lost money, they were unhappy and bought a case against.
Is there lots of background noise coming through for me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Oh, really?
Okay.
There's a guy with a whippersnapper. It's Friday afternoon, and there's always someone. So I can move inside if it's like.
Yeah, I can't hear anything. You can always just mute when you're not talking. But I couldn't hear anything. Sometimes these mics will just focus in on what's in front of them.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what it's doing. So I'm gonna go inside.
Yeah, you're cool, man. You're cool. You're cool.
You're all good there.
So I mean, I can't actually hear. So. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was interesting about what Maddie did is he went out and said, "Hey, there's this thing going on in South Carolina. Maybe it's a good idea that we try and defend it. I'm going to put it out there to any whales, any big players in Hex or PulseChain who want to help fund an amicus brief or amici briefs for this case." He wasn't asking for just regular community members like you or I to put any money in. But what I found interesting is that there's like always people out there who've got something to say. Like there's always someone who's got something like coming out and saying, "Oh, this is this is whatever, a money grab or whatever." And I just find it interesting that like no one's forcing that person to contribute anything. No one's like asking them to contribute anything. No one's there's no force. There's no one's being coerced or anything in any way. It's like pure donation for anyone who can afford to donate.
Absolutely.
And it's for the greater good of what a lot of us believe, which is that a Hex contract is not an entity and it's not a security and shouldn't be treated as such in the eyes of the law. And the way it seems to me that things work in the US is you've got to defend these things. You need to set the precedents and defend them. Otherwise, bad precedents can be set. So I think it's good what he did, and I think the people who are always saying something negative, I don't know. I really do question what their motives are. I really do, because I just wonder, like, what do you really care about this stuff, moving forward and doing well? Like, do you really care? Maybe you don't. The way you're acting wouldn't suggest that you do.
Is this another case like the SEC's one brought against immutable, unstoppable code?
Yeah, exactly. I think this is I think you're right, but yeah, I think it is sort of more aimed towards Richard Hart. And yeah, basically I think the story was that this guy he was he was a dude that was selling hot dogs. He bought the tops and he was selling hot dogs out of a Lowe's parking lot in America, somewhere in South Carolina. Yeah. And so, yeah, lost all this money. And yeah, not happy about the loss of
I
investment.
don't think it was that much. I don't think it was that much money, man. Like,
no.
Like when we say lost all this money, I don't know how much was lost. Like, seriously, I don't know. I don't know how much was. I don't think it was much.
So,
and
for him, it would have been a lot.
And by the way, to actually lose the money, he would have had to sell it. By the way, to actually lose the money, he would have had to do the work of selling it. You know.
No, that's exactly right. Well, there's this here, which is apparently the bloke who was struggling to find any work during COVID, and obviously started selling hot dogs, and then bought the top and lost it. So this is the sort of thing, though, if there wasn't someone like this out there trying to take things down and I guess into their own hands, and came into the community in a different way, we might actually have a bit less FUD going around, or the name getting put in a bad way. So it's interesting stuff. I'm just going to say g'day to the chat in a sec. Actually, I'll do that now. Just quickly, guys. Sorry to butt in, but we've got Hexagon lost in Asia. He or her has been in quite a bit lately. So thanks for coming in. And we slid a Biden in the intro there. Retro Static, what a legend, camera guy. Clintrons, who's another regular, and Wall to Wall TV, who's one of our favorite fudders. So thanks for joining us. And we've got someone else pretty special, very special, that's just come in. We got RG3 here as well. So how's it going, Captain?
Thanks. We're not special. Just one of you. That's all.
Oh, that's all right. That's cool. Glad
What's
we
up,
could have
RG3?
you on.
Thanks for the invite. What's happening, 43? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Oh, mate, we are just cruising, like skating the bottom of the bottom of the ice rink, and just hoping for better days ahead. Which I feel like they're on the way at some stage in the not too distant future.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying for a while now. Hey, what's happening, Hexy McHexican? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm good. Did I hear that you were coming to Australia? Have you been?
It's on the back burner right now. But we got to get this Europe tour finished, and then we'll see what happens when we get back from Europe. We're trying to downsize things, and we've been on the road for Black Hexican's been on the road for 3 years, and I've been on the road for 2 years, and we're
unreal effort. Yeah,
man, you guys, respect,
so
eh?
We're getting a little tired, so we want to see if we can catch a break next season here next year, and just put on a big event in Vegas and just kind of scale it down. So we'll see what happens with the Australia thing, but I do want to get out there for sure.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have a few of you down here for an event. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Not only would we love it, but probably get some extra people to get together, and probably a bull market thing where once we get some good pricing and there's better vibes around, people might be more keen to head out as well. So
and the thing is, if we were to go that far, I mean, that's all the way on the other side of the world. It's like, we'd like to plan it out to where we're there for a couple of weeks and hit 3 nice locations or something, versus just coming out, spending a few days and then blowing back. We'd like to put some time and some effort into it. And right now with like what you said, skipping at the bottom of the swamp here, it's been hard to garner excitement and attention and new onboards. And it's funny because we all here know that this is the time to be onboarding people. Like, not when they start calling us when Hex is $1, $2, and Pulse is up to a penny, and which is what's going to happen. They're going to call us, and we'll be onboarding them at the top, and then everybody's going to get pissed because the bottom drops out of it, and they end up having to sit through a bear market. But that's just par for the course. It's how it all goes. It's this crypto space is a finicky, fickle, crazy freaking place, man. It just, hey, what's up, Glitch? It's still confounds me. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like you guys were just talking, like Maddie's been, now whether you like Maddie or whether you like his techniques or the things he does or whatever, that's not the point. You know, you don't have to, you know, buy into everything he does or watch his show or whatever if you don't like Maddie, but the man's been working for you if you're part of this community from the time he stepped in here. And, you know, to go out there and say ill shit about him and all this other stuff is like, you know, just keep it to yourself if you're not out there doing something too. And that's the one thing that I look at. It's like, who's saying this stuff? Like when I see people commenting, it's like, who the fuck are you? Like, what have you done? And who are you to say something about that man who I've watched, you know, travel around the country, you know, and put on conventions every year, whether it be in real life, physical, or on the internet. You know, I've tried to put his hands in everything he can to make things better and try and do things. And whether he succeeded or not, like all of us, whether we succeeded or not, at least we're fucking doing something, you know? And that's what it takes. And to sit there and throw the scam word and the grifter word around and all that stuff is just, it's BS, because I don't know anybody who's gotten rich off of trying to get a project done in this community. I don't know anybody who's gone out there and just, you know, tried to get wealthy off of bilking hexagons for pennies and shit. You know, it just, and the other thing is Maddie's asking, you know, whales to donate. He said the normal guys, you know, back off. And if you like his thing, don't fucking do it. You know?
Exactly.
And
Maddie's doing a great job. Seriously. Like,
yeah,
everyone needs someone in their team to go out swinging hard and batting really hard for them. And then there's always an opposition, or there's always someone else that's going to have a go at them or think they're cheating or doing it wrong or whatever. I just don't like it when people go out making these like full-on assumptions without some sort of proof or evidence. And yeah, I think Maddie's doing the right thing, and he isn't asking everyone to just pile in. He's just saying there's some people out there that have, you know, big bags. They can afford to help out, and they might have massive bags in the ecosystem. So it's a small amount for them to try and get a boost out of it and stop this ship from going down. So I think it's great what he's doing. He's a trooper.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's funny. You see, you know, these same people always angry and upset about somebody doing something, always angry and upset about somebody taking attention away from them or what it is they're trying to do, you know, and it's always that same shit. And it's like, you know what? Quit worrying about everybody else and go do you. You do your thing, you know? And it's hard for them to do it because I think that a lot of people like to clout chase and you know, making other people look bad. And this is a horrible trait. It's a horrible leadership trait, is to make other people look bad in order to make yourself look good. That's a really, really bad leadership trait. And a lot of people in the space use it. And I think it's just from immaturity and inexperience and lack of wisdom that people do that, you know, the crab in the bucket thing. And well, if they can't have it, if I can't have it, they can't have it, you know, and that kind of stuff. And it's a really bad leadership trait, and it's going to shine through. And, you know, these fake, you know, influencers that are out there using these techniques, it's going to fall flat eventually. You know, it loses out. Now, it doesn't go without its pain and being a pain in the ass, because it is. You know, I mean, I literally had to take a week off last week from all socials because it's freaking ridiculous. The hate and the shit that comes, you know, from within the community. No, I expected it in the beginning from people that weren't hexagons, that hated Richard and what we were doing, but I never expected like some of the hate that I'm seeing now coming through DMs and shit from like literal hexagons or people that I've known in the community for a long time. It's really sick, man. It's really sick. But it's the bottom of the bear market.
Yeah, it's enough of a sign, isn't it, to tell you where things are at. It's a true sentiment sign that we talk about quite a bit. I'll be keen to hear what you got to say, 43, but yeah, go for it.
I think what's forgotten by a lot of these people who are talking shit is that crypto was made so people could transact peer to peer. So why the hell does anyone care what other people are doing with their money? This is the whole point.
Like the doxing of wallets. Like, why do people care about other wallets? Whether they dump or whatever, it's none of your fucking business what people do with their wallets. Their crypto.
Complaining about it is I see it as the dumbest thing ever. Complaining about it. Like if you want to look at wallets to inform what moves you're going to make as like an information, a data thing, do whatever you like. But people complaining about how like someone the other day was complaining that like someone donated that those funds to the amicus brief for where was it? The SC one, the one that Maddie's doing. Why are people complaining? Yeah. Why is anyone complaining about that? Like, is that your money? It's not your money. Someone decided they wanted to give that. Someone made the decision that they wanted to give, like they wanted to fund that, so that could happen. So that shouldn't be anyone's problem. Everyone should just chill out, have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up, And
what people need to understand also is that legal precedent and law makes difference. These things that happen in the courtrooms make a difference, and they're going to set precedents. They're going to affect law, and getting as much people behind a reaction to an action in a lawsuit is important, and that's what these amicus briefs are for. Is to give the other side, to give when you sign a class action lawsuit, you have a bunch of people on one side of the fence saying, hey, this is where we've been wronged. And an amicus brief is something that says, no, we on this side say that there isn't anything wrong. And, and that's what we did with the first one. And it holds weight. People need to understand that these things hold weight and these things are valuable. And this is all part of the legal process. And to let stupid, frivolous lawsuits or dumb things like what the SEC is doing to Richard right now continue to go on without being checked, without having intellectual and group backing of the opposite side of the argument is not how you're supposed to do things. The right things are being done right now. And people need to shut the fuck up, listen, and learn a little bit before they start opening their goddamn mouths, because we've got important business to get done here, and the kids need to just go up to their rooms and shut up. And whether or not I think that, that the amicus brief is done by the right lawyers or it's the right price for it or whatever. I know that the one that we did didn't quite cost that much. But it all depends on the lawyers and what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. So it's not, I don't have any precedent on that either, to be honest.
I think that is more a function of the time frames involved.
Yeah.
Like if you ask a lawyer to do anything in a short amount of time, for a lawyer, that's cha-ching, so I think it's more a case of it being a short time frame and not being able to just copy and paste what's already been done. Because if it was as simple as just taking what's been done by RG, you guys and Coffee, and if it was as simple as just copying and pasting that, then it would obviously not be as expensive. But let's get back to the point that there was a whale out there who deemed it to be a good idea. So what anyone else thinks is really irrelevant,
It's irrelevant. And their arguments are moot because it didn't affect any of them. So again, shut the fuck up and let the adults do the work.
Yeah. And it's probably only going to affect them in a positive way as well. So they're all having a whinge. But there's only positive that can come out from this. And that's something Matty was saying on the stream, like on his stream about it. Anyone that's got an issue, what's the downside from it? There's, it's only going to help in a positive way. So get the hell over it, really. I love how Richard, the way he says things as well. Like this post here, just saying, some people matter a lot more than others. There's guys out there taking personal risk in order to make the world a better place. They put their face and name on things. And some hexicans really keep their eye on the ball, throw conferences and I stream all the time and sue evil. So there we go. You know, I think we just got to keep pushing on, and anyone that's out there swinging the bat is doing a good job for everyone. So,
well,
yeah.
Well, I for one want to let RG3 and Matty Allen know that there are plenty of us hexicans out here that appreciate the hard work that you guys have put in over the years. We really, really do. We see it. We see what you've done. We also see the dickheads talking shit, and we know that they're dickheads. So I would say just keep doing what you guys are doing. Keep grinding. You're doing really, really well for the community, and we appreciate it. And you know what? If think about it, if you take just RG3 and Matty Allen out of the community, right? Just those two people out of the community, you don't have a lot of shit that's happened over the last few years. A lot of big shit that's happened.
Yeah.
So people need to understand that sometimes you need people like Matty Allen and RG3 to be the at the front of the pack, and other people will follow because they're there trailblazing for the community. So thanks, mate.
Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. It wasn't all unselfish. What we do here, we did for, we were all invested in it, and we wanted to, get it out in front of people. And we knew that, the byproduct of marketing and getting it out to people was going to be our bags pumping. And those of us who gathered around and became part of the community, it was going to be all of our bags pumping, and so it wasn't like it was an unselfish thing. But making the world a better place, like Richard says, when you really look at DeFi, when you really look at it, that's what made it all worth it. Because it's one thing to go out there with an entrepreneurial spirit and go and do things and create, marketing around something that you feel good about. It's another thing to literally go up against governments, banks, financial institutions, all of these things to make the world a better place. And, and that's what Richard has given us, the ability to go out and do that. He's given us the tools to go do that. And so it makes it even that much sweeter to be part of it. Now, the detractors in these things right now, that are the loud people that are detracting and talking shit against Maddie and myself and the rest of the OG cabal that's out there, it's bothersome at times, and especially when you've been working this hard and you continue to do so even during the bear market, when everybody else walks away, when everybody else says, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. When everybody else says, yeah, you do it. It's hard. It's hard. And it's not always, you're not always able to get out there on a Friday night and put on your best freaking smile and go welcome everybody in and try and talk to people about Hex and onboard for the, 1,000th time that you've done it. It's not always easy. But we keep doing it, and I keep doing it. Maddie keeps doing it, and that's what it takes. It takes consistency and persistency to keep things going, and to end up silencing the detractors, because what they want is for you to give up and go away. What they want is for you, especially when you're winning. When you're winning, they want you to give up and go away. Either they want what you got, or they don't want you to have what you're taking. And they're banging their heads up against the wall because we've been hit by everything. And I don't think anything's going to stop me or Maddie or any of the other OGs that are still around doing things from continuing to do what we do. That little tweet by Richard, I mean, that's a big deal. That's a big deal, because a lot of these people are claiming that, they're the voice of Richard, and you're the cabal, and Richard, you guys are dishonoring him, or whatever the hell it is they're out there saying and doing, and that's not the truth. It isn't the truth. And you look at what Richard says, and he's like, no, these people that put their dick on the line there on the chopping block, they're doing good stuff, and I appreciate it, and just that right there, whether he says thank you, or, it was you, RG, or thanks, RG, or nothing, doesn't matter. I know what I've done, and I know who he's talking about, you know? And like I said, and I've told this to everybody, Richard's never even really thanked me personally for doing anything, any of this stuff, you know? And so let alone pay me or any of the other stuff that we've been accused of. So, you know, but it really doesn't matter because we all know what we're doing. We've been doing the same thing, you know, from the beginning, and we're not going to stop. So,
yeah, no, that's brilliant. And comments like this, like, yeah, wall to wall, saying about, I think this is directed at Maddie, but you know, things like this. Don't know what wall to wall's doing for the community here, or you know, if this all goes through, how any of this is going to affect him in a bad way. But he's always got something bad to say. But we like the numbers on the views anyway. Thanks for coming in here and talking. But you know, Matty's doing a good job, and we can see if he's done something with the funds, or you know, if this is all not legit, it's pretty easily, you know, found out. So I think
there's a lot of sour grapes out there, man. There's a lot of
everyone should just. Yeah, we should all just stand behind him and just walk that way with him, and I reckon we'll be pretty sweet.
Hey,
Briz, welcome, Briz. We're glad to have you here, and you put some strong words in on that stream. I admire, you know, being able to say that stuff, and you bring up some pretty harsh points sometimes. But like I said, it's always good to have the other side of it. You always need it.
Which stream?
I think Briz. Sorry, Bekexa, can you go, mate?
I was going to say, which stream was that?
That was the last stream where Maddie was talking about this
Game theory,
amicus brief and that sort of thing. So it was his last, not the stream he did today, but I think it was yesterday's stream, our time. So check it out. Yeah.
I think Briz is so used to hating on anything new that takes money away, like any new coin, that he just automatically went into that, I'm hating on this new shit, like without like properly considering it. That's just my take. He might change his mind on that. You know, I'm sure Briz might change his mind on the whole amicus brief thing.
Yeah, no, that's it. And Briz, if you're still watching and you want to jump in, let me know. Send me a DM or something, and I can give you the link to come in.
Bring him in. I'll slap him around a little bit. He's a little freaking bitch.
Yeah, that's it. I'll just.
I know Briz called everybody getting behind PHEX, and then literally the next day, almost, Richard said the market is chosen, and it's still weird to me that we're still talking about two. I think everyone's just got to get behind one hex. Like, it's so clear to me. There's one Bitcoin and a million imposters. There's one ETH and, well, Ethereum Classic, it's worth nothing.
Yeah.
There can only be one. And I think that uncertainty when people think that there might be two, I think that's got to be bad for both of them.
Yes, well, I don't know if you heard, you might not have seen it, but there's that Atropa developer, is it Maria, or I can't remember what other name he goes by, but he had an interesting thing at the PulseChain conference. Is that the one that you were running, RG3? Were you there?
I wasn't there at that one. I can't make it stay out for 2 months. 1 month's enough.
Yeah.
2 months is too much for me. So
no, that's cool. Yeah.
Casey and
I heard Black Hexagon's voice going on. Yeah.
And that's SJ, cool. They were out there, and so they were at that part of it with the KSB crew.
That's cool.
Doing that part of the tour. But yeah, he spoke. You know, look, when it comes to all these other cryptos that are, you know, within the ecosystem that are, you know, do the pegging thing and all that kind of stuff and whatnot, it's, you know, it's great experiments in my opinion. You know, and however they do it. There's all kinds of different iterations of it, and all these sub communities are doing the same thing. And here's what they're doing, and it's very simple to see. You know, you can create any meme token you want. You can draw anything up that you want, and as long as you can get some people behind it, as long as you can garner some excitement, as long as you can make number go up, you're going to make the number go up. And we see that every time. Every time a new token comes in, number goes up. They've got a community, Telegram room buzzes. Everybody gets behind it. And boom, whether it's a picture of a dick with a butt or it is a utility token of some type that's working within the RH ecosystem, it's the same thing every time. And why? What is happening here? We're at the bottom of the bear market. Everybody's hurting. Those few people that do have money are trying to make some money moving back and forth through things. And they figured it out how to do so. And once it's done, it's over with. And then it's on to the next one and on to the next one and the next one. So if you keep them going, if you keep more memes, if you keep more things happening and going, and you keep creating excitement, you get people to do what? Push the fucking button, because that's what you need to make number go up. Is people need to be pushing the green button. The buy button has to be pushed. And that's what's not happening right now in crypto. Only within this ecosystem do we have people moving around their money and pushing the button. This isn't new money coming in. This isn't new. We didn't get the gains of this new market cap that crypto has. That's BlackRock shit. They stole Bitcoin from everybody. The OG freaking Bitcoiners all sold their freaking Bitcoin to BlackRock. And that's what created this market cap. Not new users coming in, not retail investors jeeting in, not any of the Ethereum tokens or utility stuff going up, not freaking Solana's bullshit that's going on over there. They're just doing the same thing too, is running meme coins around in circles. That's it. That's all it's doing. It's just recycling the money back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And some of these communities, even within this community, are just every week hyping up the newest thing, and it's nothing. It's just over and over and over again. If they can keep the hype, if they can keep the community vibrant and moving and going, then they will keep making money. They will keep, filling their bags. And I'm sorry, but the little guys are the ones that get hurt on this all the time. Every time the little guys get hurt, and they're going to keep doing it. And people are going to keep buying into it, hoping to catch their brass ring, especially those who've been busted up by this bear market. But that's all that's happening. This isn't new money. We aren't onboarding jack shit right now. Like my biggest focus is, I want to finish the tour. And then I've got some projects here locally that it's like, what? I'm thinking too big. I'm thinking of, traveling the world and traveling the country to go try and bring PulseChain to people. I'm talking to roomfuls of our own people. I'm not getting onboards, and I've been thinking about how do I do this? How do I go back down to the grassroots of this thing and do some onboarding? And by chance, I had an onboard that came to me, and he owns a hair care company. He makes products and distributes them out here in Southern California. And he said, "Hey man, I go to all these hair salons. I have, hundreds of hair salons I go through, and all of these ladies are independent contractors. None of them have a pot to piss in. They all want to know about crypto. They all want to know about how to save for retirement. How about you come in, do a presentation, and you guys do your thing, and I'll fill up a salon with ladies that are looking to, get into hex." And I said, "That's a great fucking idea." So we're going to start, when I get back from Europe, we're going to start going salon to salon, filling up the salons with gals that want to get into crypto and create a retirement account for themselves and start dollar costing them all into crypto that way. We'll have we'll set them up with a Coinbase account. We'll set them up with a wallet. We'll set them with onboarding, offboarding, and set them up with wallets, show them security, and then get them started and do a nice little seminar for them. And then I started thinking, I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. We'll go do these things. And then I started thinking about all the different businesses that have the same type of model. We have businesses out there that are gyms. So like locally, my trainer, he charges me his training fee, and I don't have to pay for the gym, but he pays monthly for the space at the gym to train all of his clients. So he has the same kind of model as, say, a hair salon or a beautician would have. And so now I'm starting to look for all of these businesses that do this type of work, where they have independent contractors come in and work at their place, because those are the people that are semi-entrepreneurs, and are looking for some type of a retirement plan, and Hex is the perfect thing for that. And getting them into crypto is what they want. So that's what I'm going to start focusing on. I want to get outside of this echo chamber. I want to get outside of the walls of the Hexagon community and start to try and onboard. And I'll do it at the grassroots level at first, and then I'll just see what it turns into. But you know, I'm getting tired of you know, trying to do things within this community and then just getting stuck in the back with a shiv, you know, and you know, seeing others too, like my friend Matty, you know, getting, you know, all this shit for him trying to go out and do something. And he and I aren't the only ones. There's been plenty of people out there that have been lambasted for trying to help. And it's like, you know what, maybe the community isn't the right place to be doing all this stuff. Maybe we need to go out and start trying to onboard through outbound messaging through other people. And, you know, and I like doing the in-person thing. And I think that, you know, people are out there doing mailers and all that other stuff. So, you know, I'm going to do my thing and try and get in front of people and talk to them about crypto, teach them how to get in, and show them how Hex can help them in the future for putting, you know, value away in crypto markets. So.
Nice.
Man, that's
nice.
a good idea. Yeah, that's great.
New people, bringing new people in.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
what-
easier to get people that are like already in crypto in. And so I thought a good idea would be to like join some of these other like crypto Facebook groups and try and like nudge a few messages in there about Hex. And man, the gatekeeping's still strong. Like the mods just don't post it.
Yeah.
But meme coin posts all day, every day. Like that's fine. Show me your next 1000x gem, meme coin gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bots get through somehow, don't they? It's bloody ridiculous. It must just
It's
be
a
the
little bit-
volume that did it, or yeah.
It's a little bit counterintuitive because you would think that I'll just go talk about crypto to other people who know about crypto and they'll understand. It will make sense to them and they'll understand how good this is. Unfortunately, we're talking about tribes, and every tribe that you go to, they're going to shun you if you start talking, you know, a different language, which is what Hex is. You know, it's a different crypto language basically. So you got to go out and find new people. Like this, I think that's the way. That's how we did it that's how we did it in the first 2020. We were looking for new people. We were onboarding new people because all the legacy crypto people didn't want to have a bar of it. They were the ones who were shitting on us. Now it just seems like there's people in our own community who are doing all the shitting, you know, which is
It's
bizarre.
funny. It is. It's funny.
Yeah, butting your own bags. It's really quite bizarre behavior.
That's for sure. Hey, I'm just going to go through the chat quickly because man, there's some comments here, and we've been ranting for it. We're going on for a while. Good stuff though. What have we got? Benny Blanco from the Bronx. He's here a bit as well. Hi ho Hex. Yeah, Matty tries hard, and he's a good guy. That's for sure. We've all got a bit of love for him. Where are we? Oh, and DJ Cryptomatic. Thanks for listening on your way to work. And yeah, I was on their show, What the Hex, a couple of weeks ago, and it was great fun with old mate Papa Boner.
Mm-hmm.
And Matty Allen's come in, and look out right behind him is a wild SJ. Thanks for coming and saying g'day. So cool. And thanks for your efforts out there as well, SJ. It's amazing stuff. I'm going to read a couple of these ones here. Retrostatic saying, humans have a tendency to pay more attention to negative experiences and information than positive ones. Time to change. Stop listening to them. Yeah. 100%.
Easier said than done, but yes.
That's right. And it's hard to change the whole herd, isn't it? Or get the whole herd to do it a different way. Yeah, this evolutionary trait helped our ancestors survive by focusing on potential threats. As a result, negative voices and drama often capture more attention. Let's change. Yeah. One step at a time, eh? And if we can do it one person at a time, that'd be bloody brilliant. But yeah, it's a hard one to turn that ship. Brizology, everyone's just broke and jealous. Yeah. Speaking of onboarding, I had this one here because I saw this funny post and I thought, man, Briz has been putting in some work onboarding for for his farming of ink. Check this out. This is him and his mates out in the field. They're just picking up that ink. Oh, bloody hell. But yeah, Jexa, you had a link. I'm guessing you're busy, mate, but it would have been good if you got time. You can always jump on. You know that. We love having you on here. Is it? Oh, Jex is saying, what bothers him most is it cabal or cabal? Which way is it spelled? Yeah, it's kaboom. Good one, TJ. Good stuff. Who else is in here? Any new comments? Oh, here we go. Briz saying something wall to wall. Do the amicus brief yourself. Show the work and I'll repay you. Yeah, that sounds good. Would love to see some positive effort from wall to wall. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And Brizology saying that RG3 says I'm not allowed to stream when he's on. So maybe you both need to go on Game Theory Gang, and Maddie can be the mediator.
Since when does he listen to me? Right.
It's all good love here. Like, you know, that's what I love about this community. It's all a bit of fun most of the time. You know, just having a bit of banter between everyone is really good. What is Briz saying here? Talking to other crypto people is like going to a rap concert and trying to convince them to come to your country music concert. Yeah, I agree. I think would you call it organic onboarding or not really? It's like no coiners, you know, onboarding the no coiners probably seems like the best way to go. And then I think the green candles will bring the others over from the other teams. You know, if they just see it rocketing off, that's probably when they'll be all buying in. So, yeah, I think
we
I'll
want
leave that.
We want the people from the other communities who don't want to buy now. We want them to make their profits and then come in with their profits when we're already closer to the top, right?
There you go.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I found a good meme for that one since you brought that up. It was where is it? This is what a lot of people are doing at the moment, and this is what we want. All those people at the bottom there, yeah, buy then when it's breached its all-time high. That's what we want. Get a nice rocket going up. So,
and that's the way it happens too. You know, I keep saying that. You know, you guys aren't going to buy until it's time for everybody to sell, and that's when it happens. Phone starts ringing off the hook.
No, that's exactly right. Hey, what do you reckon about this? Is this the market deciding that PDI PulseX is better than PDI? This was one of the SAC wallets. As far as I know, I didn't do the research. I'm going off Twitter. But apparently one of the SAC wallets swapped 5,555 PDI for PulseX. So if that's a market decision or an indicator, thank you very much.
Yeah.
What do you reckon about that, Hex? Are you into the trope of PDI? Sorry.
I love the experiments. You know, the experiments are great, and whether they're really experiments or not, are, you know, I guess to be determined. But you know, watching token, the more and more I look at it, I thought, okay, well, let's see if something could peg to the dollar, blah blah. But they're still just a meme coin, and you're still going to have. When you see people sitting there and they're talking and bragging about how big some of their PDI wallets are, you're going to have all that sell pressure. There's just so much sell pressure. So I just can't buy into the narratives of these things pegging when there's going to be so much sell pressure. So, you know, and I'm not pissing on it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it or they're not, you know, trying to do what they're doing, but you know, any of these things, they're all the same. There's nothing different. There's nothing new under the sun. Nobody's created anything bitching and cool. They're just a meme token that they're trying to peg, and they're pegging it with excitement and people buying it. That's it. You know, and they're wrapping other stuff around it to try and, you know, bring the prices up. Let's find a new meme coin, liquidity. Boom. Keep it going. Juggle the plates, spin the plates, juggle everything. And eventually, what's going to happen? you've got, a couple of handful of people that have big wallets, like in everything. And unless you have a true stable coin that's backed by something that's got value behind it that people are using as a stable coin, then, you're going to have sell pressure. And if the liquidity is not right, you're going to have volatility. So it doesn't turn it into something that it's not, I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. The writing's on the wall, and I don't see these things becoming stable without there being something more behind it other than just the regular, let's keep drawing excitement to the new token of the day,
Yeah. At one point,
it's my opinion.
At one point I changed my train of thought for a little while about all the new coins on, PulseChain and stuff like that. I was very much just focusing on Hex, PulseX, Pulse and things like that. And then I thought, well, the Tang Gang's doing a good thing, with the community way, like strong community, loud, putting, at one time very positive, and there's still a lot of positivity. So I thought maybe the money sloshing around in the ecosystem isn't such a bad thing because at least it's in here. Just sort of lately it seemed to be really shifting, like a big shift. And just so many people just, transferring in and out, out of the core stuff, what we would call core stuff, into these memes. And it does worry me as to how much dilution there is or spread, across all of those coins. Because for the upcoming bull run or, just in general, you can just see it bleeding out.
What happens when L1s and core tokens go up? What happens to shit coins? What happens to meme tokens? What happens?
Oh yeah, everyone's going to rotate out, aren't they? Yeah.
The money moves and it goes into it, and they all take a shit. They all take a bath. The big money moves in first, and then everybody follows, and then the little guys get wrecked, and it helps pump the other coins even more, so more people flow in. Look, there's one thing I know about money, and that is that it has to flow. Money has to move. When rich people get money and hoard it and put it away, that does not help an economy. People bitch and whine and moan and complain about poor people getting a little bit of money all the time. Like no tax breaks for those guys. No, you need to give the rich guys tax breaks and all this other bullshit. You guys are all fucking idiots if you don't understand what money really needs to do. Who buys tennis shoes and wheels for their cars? Poor fucking people. And what does that do? It makes jobs. It puts financial energy into the system and it turns it around. People think that giving rich people money makes it trickle down and all this other stuff. And we need tax breaks for rich folks and blah, blah. No, you need poor people to have money in their hands so they could spend it and keep the money flowing. That's what needs to happen. And that's what's wrong here is big wallets got a bunch of money sitting there and the little guys are stale, stagnant. They can't move. They're petrified to move. They're petrified to do anything. That's why that's stuck. That's why economies get stuck, because you don't have enough money at the bottom circulating capital. Capital has to flow. If it doesn't flow, it doesn't do anything. Like a dollar, when you give somebody a dollar, when you give away a dollar, and this universal income thing, and I'm not up for it, don't get me wrong, but they put money into people's pockets, and what happened? It stimulates the economy. $1 of buying power starts turning, I think it turns into like $3.40 or $4 and something like that in buying power as it circulates around. It's money has to move, just like crypto has to move. If you don't have something moving, if you don't have people pushing the button, it stagnates. And what happens? It just starts selling off and the price goes down and people lose confidence in it and blah, 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 blah. And that's what we're seeing. That's exactly what we have right now. It's exactly what we have. And until people start pushing the button again, we're not going to see it move. We're not going to see it move. And people don't understand this concept. There's always like, there's not enough for me. There's not enough for me. There's no way, and while the wealthy hoard it and do stock buybacks and all this other bullshit, the little guys just keep getting squeezed tighter and tighter and tighter. And the middle class gets squeezed tighter and tighter and tighter until something gives. And we finally get the circulation going again. But right now, everything is stagnant. Everything is stale.
Yeah. One thing as well that we all need to remember is when you look at, any other chart, there's a couple, like Bitcoin has been moving, but it's recently had a pullback and it's, just going sideways at the moment. And, Ethereum is looking a bit bullish for the future with the ETF and stuff, but the market hasn't really taken off in the broad way, in a massive way yet. So I think when we see the rest of the market start to move, we're going to see PulseChain start to move as well with it, because it's tied with liquidity, but also just because, that's going to show there's more activity, there's more money coming in and things like that. So when you do look at the chart and it looks pretty average, it's a brand new, brand new blockchain. There's people that sacrifice too much and they're trying to get out. I really think we're going to see a good bump, once the rest of the markets start moving as well.
Yeah, the pump just needs to be primed. There just need to be a prime of the pump. And what BlackRock did behind the scenes, didn't prime the pump enough. It was in the dark of the night. They filled their bags. I mean, I was screaming about it for 6 months while it was happening. Hey, look at the OTC trades. Look at the OTC trades. Look at the OTC trades. And then boom, as soon as the Bitcoiners that weren't involved in the OTC trades, because look, let's face it, in order for them to get all of that Bitcoin, they had to buy it somewhere. And they didn't buy it off exchanges. They bought it off of OG wallets. So the Bitcoiners sold you out to BlackRock, everybody. And you need to all understand that they sold your crypto out. The OGs that held Bitcoin for all those years sold your asses down the river and gave it to BlackRock. And I don't hear anybody screaming about that. But anyway, that wasn't enough. It was enough to make some of the older, bigger wallets understand and go, oh shit, we need to get ourselves some more Bitcoin too, blah, blah, blah. And that's what pushed the price up. That wasn't retail buys. That was whales coming in and moving the price up, and they did it really, really fast, and it stuck there. And it didn't bring in no retail investors because there was no retail hype behind it. There wasn't anything behind it. It was just, BlackRock's in. They got their wallets. They got their money. Okay, start trading it. And it's like nobody cared. Nobody cared. So
I think that from my perspective, the concerning thing about ETFs is the potential for them to not be spot ETFs. That's what concerns me. Like the second if they start doing paper Bitcoin and just selling Bitcoin that they're not like actually buying on the market somehow, whether it be OTC or whether it be like on the market. However, that is concerning to me because then you're just recreating a fractional reserve system.
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to get away from, right?
Exactly, right? So we're giving them the keys and letting them build the foundation to do that in the future. Like right now, of course, that's not how it exists. It's a 1-for-1. They have to, hold the Bitcoin or whatever. But people are going to realize it's slow, like what is it, the frogs in the pot kind of thing. They're going to boil them slowly until they turn crypto or Bitcoin, at least, not the DeFi space, but they're going to turn Bitcoin into a fractional reserve system, just like what everybody was trying to get away from, because they're usurping it.
I think it's important to tell anyone that we onboard why, like it's so important not to just buy on exchange and hold on exchange. Like to really, you need to hold your own keys. That's at the heart of what I feel that I'm doing in this space is just reminding people that, you're supposed to hold the keys to your own crypto. I mean, if you need to send stuff to an exchange, when you need to send it, you do your business, and then you move it on. But keeping stuff on exchange or relying on a third party to hold, these assets, it's problematic. It doesn't. It's not building the future that we're here to build. That's what we're here to support, this future where people have the freedom to transact. Look, earlier this week, my wife got locked out of an account that she has in Italy, like a bank account. And it took us 3 days to get access to her money. And the whole time, for 3 days, I was just like bitching under my breath about how fucking ridiculous that is. That we had to rely on other people to give us access to our own money. And then how much better crypto is, that you don't even need to ask someone's permission to create an account. You can just create an account and receive funds. I think this always needs to be.
But is it? Because
you're not receiving funds. It's on the blockchain.
For goods and services, either goods and services, we need to be able to pay for goods and services with crypto, or we got to have a better onboarding, offboarding system. Because right now we're at the same mercy of those entities. Right now you can move into Gemini or into Coinbase and out into your bank account as soon as possible. Boom, boom, boom. And that process is fairly simple if you know what you're doing and know how to do it. But we still have to rely on that entity in order to pay for goods and services, because
the choke points are still there. Yeah, the choke points are still exist, because not everyone is accepting crypto as payment.
Yeah. There's no.
I agree with you. I agree with that. But if you've got everyone, if you just think about it this way. If somehow magically we could snap our fingers and everyone had a crypto wallet, all of a sudden, everyone was just aware that they had a crypto wallet and it's easy for them to use, it would remove a lot of that friction. Part of the problem is that you've only got a very small percentage of people who know or care about crypto, and that's, we're trying to onboard people into crypto. That's what we're here to do. It's going to be I really think it's going to be a generational thing where you need like boomers out of the system, boomers retired, like out of the system, and our generation, Generation X, millennials, being in control of what's going on before we're really, and this might be 10 or 20 years away before, everyone just has a crypto wallet, because it's just normal. Kids have it when they're born. Parents make their kids a crypto wallet when they're born, that sort of thing.
But unless you're paying with like privacy coins, I just don't see it as feasible to be paying for goods and services with crypto. Like, you can't have a situation where everybody can see like what you bought and have it being traced back.
We definitely
are
privacy.
I seriously tell you personally, and I mean, like, privacy coins are just getting shut down left, right, and center. But unless people are going to adopt privacy coins, then I'm not seeing the people paying for everything in crypto.
There has to be a DeFi equivalent of a privacy coin / stable coin. That has to be one of the goals of the DeFi space, because the hardest thing to do within the crypto space is to move money around when you're in the crypto space, because everybody gets to see who you are, what you're doing, where you've gone, where you've been. And if you are, public figure or something, then it gets spread all over the place. It's horrible. It's horrible to do business that way. It's horrible to have to be exposed to that. It's not right. And people deserve their privacy, and that's going to have to be something that's addressed. First of all, we've got some hurdles to get through as far as regulatory. It's looking really good here in the US. I don't know about elsewhere, but what I'm hearing elsewhere, it's even looking better. But we've got the head of the SEC's crypto division resigned. Gensler's back's up against the wall. Richard's looking to set some precedents here. It looks like, and it's looking really good for the first hurdle. Like, let's get DeFi on the board, and then let's start chipping away at these other things like stable coins and privacy and all these other things. So it, like you said, I think it's 10, 20 years away. We've got a long way to go before I don't know if it's going to take us that long, but it's going to take us some time before we get the real work done and making DeFi as good as it could be, because let's face it. What we got right now is we've got a gatekeeper with how to use it as far as, goods and services go. We've got no privacy. We've got no regulation. We've got, countries that do and do not allow you to do certain things in it. I mean, it's really shitty right now. It really is. As good of a product as it is, as good as a product as crypto is, it's really shitty. It is a hard life if you have to live with crypto, it's a really shitty life to have to live. And it's not easy. It's not functional, and it's not feasible, and it needs to be changed. It's not fair to the people who have done the good worked real hard at trying to make things right here, to have to deal with what we're all dealing with right now. And for those of you who haven't had to live on crypto or cashing out or moving it around or doing all the things, try it. It's not fun. Try and pay employees in crypto, Oh, you're paying them this and them that, and I mean, it's not an easy world to function in, and then try and do your taxes, try and get a business account for your crypto so that you can move business money through crypto and do your taxes through your businesses versus a personal bullshit. It's a pain in the dick. It really is. I don't see any relief in sight right away. So on top of all the other things that crypto is, especially, being somebody out there, working in the spaces with the socials and the people and all that kind of stuff, there's a whole nother side of this, trying to build businesses and work and run and all that kind of stuff on the side that is just another pain in the ass. Man, I'm sure glad I love this thing as much as I do, because I'd be gone a long time ago.
Yeah, there must be something about it, or something about us, why we all love it so much, because we are, maybe that's why, because we are still pretty close to the code. Like we were talking about that last week. We're really only like 1 or 2 steps away from the code at the moment. We've got some pretty cool front ends that people have built, to make it easier. But yeah, man, it is still hard, and trying to navigate that, doing payments to other people and stuff like that, definitely difficult if you want to try and not open up a can of worms. Hey, we've been going for an hour and 10 minutes, and we still haven't mentioned one thing, which is Dozer, par excellence, who isn't here at the moment. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, mate, we hope you're doing good, and having a bit of fun out there. But we'll see you hopefully on one of the
having a bit of facial reconstructive surgery, I believe. He had his nose broken a few weeks ago.
Oh.
And it was a legal
Dozer
fight.
Dozer is low key one of the toughest hexagons, one of the toughest guys in the community. He, multiple times a week gets in the ring and punches people in the face and is on the receiving end as well. Tough guy. But occasionally he cops one.
Yeah, and that's just at home with Klaz, and then he also goes out and then does it in a proper club. So, man, he puts up with a bit of that. Klaz is awesome. They're so good.
Shout out Klaz.
Yeah,
she's got a mean right hook.
Yeah, she sure does. Hey, while we're on that, Dozer was saying about this fighter, 43, the one that's coming up. He's got a Go Pulse logo on the back of his walkout shirt. Is it Dom Marfan or something? Do you know much about him?
No, actually, no. What can you tell me? Tell me a bit more. What's going on?
Anyway, there's a fight coming up. Just quickly. Sorry, I'm still getting used to doing this. There's a fight coming up in the Gold Coast. Where is he? That's him down there. Don Marfan. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right or not, mate. But so there's a guy, Nick Eddy. He sponsors him, and he's got a Go Pulse logo on his walkout shirt, which is amazing. And it's so good for, for a bit of exposure there for PulseChain and things like that. But they're actually wanting to give away a front row seat that comes with food and drinks for the Gold Coast on.
Really?
Where is it? Where's the date? So it's tomorrow night, I'm assuming. Yeah, tomorrow night in the Gold Coast. So if there's anyone on the stream, I'm not going to do like a proper giveaway where you'll type something in the chat. But if there's someone in the Gold Coast or that can get to the Gold Coast and wants to go and see this fight and the other ones that are on tomorrow night, give us a message or let us know in the chat, and we'll pass your details on to Nick Eddy, who will be able to hook you up with some tickets. So I hope there's someone out there that wants to go and see a fight in the Gold Coast. They've just they've told us to see if we can give away a ticket.
And shout out to Nick Eddy for organising a sponsorship of PulseChain on the Fighters Shorts. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's so good, that people, they're just willing to just put money away and like we said earlier, take risks and just do good for the system and for what they believe in. It's so damn good. Hey, did anyone get to watch that Atropa Dev talk?
Oh, Nick Eddy in the chat.
Yep. Oh, Nick Eddy's there.
Yeah.
Dom Street. Okay.
Yeah, you can go to PulseChainTour.com and watch it from there too. They live streamed it, so the recording's in there.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. I wanted to bring something up from it quickly in a minute, but Nick Eddy's in the chat, so thanks for jumping on there, and he's got a spare ticket. So anyone wants to jump in, not in the ring, and I'm not looking at you, Dozza, this time, but anyone wants to jump on and go for a watch, just send one of us a message and we'll hook you up. Thanks to Nick Eddy. So he's Nick Eddy's jiu-jitsu coach. There we go. That's awesome. All right, I wanted to play this quickly. We're talking about meme coins and all that, and this Atropa dev, he was saying he has like 5 billion in PDI or something. So there's all that sell pressure. We were talking about RG3, but just have a quick listen to this and give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. It's pretty funny about some meme coins.
Of it. And that's kind of where the teddy bear comes in. So I'm most interested, meme-wise, for any meme token that it really takes on a not a life or a personality on its own, but a requirement of its own. So by releasing a teddy bear meme token, every teddy bear imaginable should be in support if this system is ethical and not vulnerable. The teddy bear should be like about that. Teddy bear is invented about that. The teddy bear is gifted about that. So every teddy bear, if we go through literally just real teddy bears, AI teddy bears, any kind of teddy bear you just draw on a piece of paper. Can you draw a teddy bear that has anger in its heart towards the ecosystem? Maybe. I don't know. Probably one could. I really want to see it. Artwork-wise, that would be amazing. But if we compare the teddy bear token to other meme tokens, so Doge, I think is the top one that has any sort of real momentum within the non-crypto world. So everybody more or less knows about Doge. But you see a Doge, say, like walking with a human, and it's not necessarily a crypto Doge. For the most part, this entire breed of dogs, as much as they would really like them to be representative and like on the street team for the Dogecoin, they're not. I feel that it is possible that the teddy bears, not on the street, potentially on the street, but that the teddy bears could be a real viable momentum forward for selling trust in the ecosystem if the ethics are correct and if the vulnerabilities are not overtly exploitable.
WTF?
I don't know if anyone else saw the humor that I saw in that, but it was like, I respect him. He's obviously got a damn big brain with a lot of the stuff he was saying, but man, I think they had a pretty good party the night before, because he did mention that a few times. But some of the talk about the teddy bears there, it's just like, well, I don't know, talking about, so much detail in how a teddy bear can feel and what you can draw with them and that. It's like, my goodness, that's getting deep on the teddy bear front. So anyway, that's I just thought that was a bit funny.
Hey, I think I've got one. You know how like Richard says like hex is a safe within a safe because its code is locked and immutable.
Yeah.
Then by the same logic, meme coins built on a layer 1, they would also be a safe within a safe because they're a smart contract. I just looked at Pepe's code. It's like 600 lines. Is it also more secure than Bitcoin?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I guess you can move it maybe easier than a hex stake, can't you? Unless it's a HSI or something. So go 43 is back. Here we go. Go.
Let me jump in and tell you why that's not the case, in my opinion. Okay. The reason hex is a safe within a safe is because of the inflation model that's in hex. So how the new hex are minted, like that's why, because it's not, you can't just like go in and change the code and mint more coins. There's like only one way to create more coins, and that's by staking, and that's how you create more coins. So it's a very safe way of producing inflation in the system.
Yeah, you can't introduce an inflation bug because the code is locked, and by this, so is every other meme coin.
And you don't know what every other...
I agree with you, 43, but I think in the context that Richard had put that in a couple of times, it was a technical context of, you know, the code being wrapped within the Ethereum, within Solidity, and then being put on PulseChain, and so it was kind of a safe within a safe. That Hex
no admin keys being, but no admin keys in Hex being at the core of that as well, and that's not just simply not the case for every other contract. Like, you know,
yeah, for sure, it's got admin keys. You know? Yes.
So there are some. I mean, you know, I'm not.
Anyway, the whole it's so hard to determine what's real and what's fake and fact from fiction. It's a tricky space to navigate. Like, we're living in an upside down world where copy paste coins that have a picture of a frog or a dog are worth like billions of dollars, while quality innovative projects such as Hex and many others like just flounder.
Yeah, it is definitely wild west, like IG3 said. But I think it'll flow back into them. I think this is a bit of a sign of boredom, and I think I don't know, but in the last, I wasn't really around for the hype of the last run. But is that when most meme coins came out as well, when there was boredom in the bear market coming into the bull? You know, I know that's roughly when Hex was out there, but I think a lot of
NFTs.
this. Yeah.
It was
NFTs.
NFTs.
It was NFTs.
Hourglass games. You know, those kinds of things that were keeping everybody interested and pushing the button. Again, it's when people are pushing the button and making crypto flow that turns it into something that makes number go up, period, in the bear market, you know. And then when the bull market comes and retail comes, people go to the stable stuff. They run to it. They dump the shit out of the meme coins because that's what the whales will do. That's what the sharks will do. They'll dump the meme coins. They'll dump the NFTs. That's what they did. They went running to the stables, to the old faithfuls, and everybody else flew in afterwards, and then money started trickling back out to other stuff that, made noise again. And then again, we started to see the next flow. It's almost the same cycle every single time. Now, this one has been an elongated bear market for damn sure. This bear market has been brutal and long. But there's just all kinds of weird outside things going on right now. The fact that this ETF didn't really do anything. The fact that like Ethereum just got deemed like not a security, hasn't really done anything. It's like, what the hell's going on here? Like the fire is being stoked by good news, by good things happening, but it's not moving. So it's kind of a weird.
So the
cycle.
ETF, it's a 2nd of July that we find out, because didn't it get postponed or something?
Are you talking about the Ethereum one?
Yeah, the Ethereum one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about the Bitcoin one. I mean, that's out, running, gone, good, done, and it's like, it's not, it did its little thing. And I don't think that little thing was because of the ETF. I think that little thing was because of people saw that BlackRock was coming in and it moved the needle finally. But if the ETF was moving the needle, we'd still see it pumping, right? And it's not. It's kind of like, okay, it's found its spot and it's wiggling sideways. So I don't know. Weird cycle. Cycle.
Who knows, man? I mean, I know people have put projections out there for BTC to be at 150, BTC to be at 240 or whatever. And I don't see this as like me being bearish. I don't know if Legacy have it in them to see things pump so high and hold. Like I think these people will sell. I mean, I could be wrong. I feel like some of these people will sell earlier, like take profits earlier. They'll farm the profits earlier.
I think before that 100K hits, there's going to be some massive dumps.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not me being bearish. It's just I just think that's in their DNA. They're not used to such big pumps, and if they come, I just think they won't be able to help themselves, but just take some profits. Make their balance sheet look good.
And some of them already did. They sold it to BlackRock.
Yeah, and just on the point of Hex, just a couple of minutes ago, Hex floundering or whatever. There's always like there's balance in everything, right? So yes, Hex price is quite low, but at the same time, T-share prices, the cost of acquiring a T-share is very, very cheap.
Very
so, cheap. I remember there was a time in 2021 where all I heard was people complaining about how unaffordable T-shares were. You can't buy a T-share. They're $10,000. T-shares are extremely affordable right now. So for anyone who didn't quite get their bag last cycle of T-shares, if you're still of the mind that T-shares are what, a way of the future, then this is the price to get them at, I think.
Yeah. It's ironic, isn't it? And nobody wants them at the cheap prices.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, this is where people should be DCAing in and staking. Exactly. I mean, why we're not running around, that's part of our narrative and everything's happening that way. I don't know, but
the T-share price on, sorry, McHexagon, you go.
I was going to say, I know I'm snapping up as much as I can get.
It's literally what, $194 for a T-share right now?
Yep, there we go. 196 for a PulseChain T-share on Hex on PulseChain. Or if what does Tommy call the other one? The Ethereum one. What does he call it again? I can't remember now. Anyway, yeah, the Ethereum Hex. $60 a T-share. So yeah, unbelievable prices, really. And yeah, you're right. Everyone's going to be crying. People have been crying for years or a couple of years about that they didn't get in. And yeah, there it is, Brizology. Erection Hex. That's what he calls the Ethereum one. So, yeah.
mind you, if that's 196, so divide that by 3 for a 10-year stake, right? 10-year stake, you get T shares at $65 on PulseChain. And I'm not saying, that's not me telling you to go stake 10 years. You got to make your own decision on what's best for you in your circumstance. I am not you. You are not me. I have stakes that are way out there, way out there. So, you know, when I see prices of T shares at like this, I think I see opportunity.
Yep.
That's for sure. Definitely. And yeah, it's funny, you know, because if you mention that you like buying and staking Hex at the moment, people would just be thinking, and even saying, you see them saying it, like, you know, what are you thinking? Why would you stake it? You know, when it's just, you know, wait for it to go up, you know, in the next sort of few months and then sell it all and you'll make more profit to then buy more. And it's like, once again, you're timing it. It's good if you can do that. And if you're an expert at flipping and you know exactly when to buy and sell and all that. But a lot of the people we want to get in and, you know, some of us even are just ones that like to stake it away or have it sitting there, know that it's going to come again, you know, later and be ready for us. And yeah, we can just take it out when it's ready rather than sitting there and getting anxious about it all.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
I was just going to say one of my favorite. Oh, you go, mate. You go. We all were jumping in at the same time. Go.
Yeah. Sorry. I was going to say, what I'm after is like a store of value, something I can put money into, watch it grow, and accumulate over time, and I'm not interested in trading in and out. Just want to be able to lock it up and have like a store of value. And Hex promotes long-term thinking and a long-term mindset, but what I'm seeing all around me is not that. Everyone's short-term mindset. How much can I make tomorrow? And it's no wonder Hex isn't doing so great when everyone's got that attitude, you know.
I think this is going to be a cyclical thing. I could be wrong on that. I just believe it's going to be a cyclical thing because if people lose faith in the state, like the whole narrative of staking, and they end stake and they don't get their T shares again, they don't like restake to re-get their T shares. What that means is that the people who are left staking with stakes and T shares, they're going to get all of the inflation. So it balances itself out. Like, you're going to have the people who believe in that narrative are going to get more of the supply of the inflation in the system. So you could have a situation where 80% of the people who are staked end stake and don't restake. Well, the 20% that do restake, they're going to be getting all the inflation. Yeah, just them.
That's why it's so brilliant.
It rebalances out because it's going to be so much more. And then people who don't stake are going to see that and be like, hang on, maybe I should stake. And then more people will start. Like, I think it's a cyclical thing that could happen, at least in the beginning, until it's cemented in people's minds as being something that really is a good long-term play.
Well, it's the volatility in the market too that kind of kills the narrative. When you have people who were staked out for 3+ years, 4 years, and they're pulling their 4-year-old stakes out, and even though it's on PulseChain and the Ethereum fees aren't going to kill them, whatever, you're looking at pretty close to valueless stakes, depending upon how much they staked and all that kind of stuff. So it even crushes it for the people who were out there being advocates for it. So we've got to figure out a way to work around the volatility. The market has to stabilize before we kind of get rid of that secular thing that you're looking at, because that's what's doing it. You've got market, not sentiment, but market structure that's making this happen. I mean, think about it. Like there are people here that have staked for 4 years. That's a good stake. That's not like a get in, get out. That was somebody who put some effort and time and waited for their stake to come out. And now it's crushed. You know what I mean? So
so what's the play in that situation, right? You've already lost value, right? According to what you're saying. Do you just say, okay, well, it's all over? Or do you at least just reclaim your T shares in the hope that it goes back up? You've got to rethink your strategy, your timing, of course, you know. So it's like, okay, do I go out to the next predicted bull market? Do I go after the next halvening and push it out? Or is the crypto narrative going to change and we're not going through cycles like that anymore? Because I mean, now here we are on the fourth cycle of it happening. So I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but your staking strategy may have to change, or your dollar costing of yourself out during the bull market has to change. And then, you know, what does that do to the market? I don't know. I don't know what the strategy is going to be, but once, you know, obviously I'm not moving any hex right now, even stuff that's coming out being unstaked, and, you know, I'm not touching it. There's no way you can sell hex at these prices. I mean, even though a lot of people are still in profit from it, but who wants to sell at this point at the end of a bear market when you can, you know, be moving? So restaking is obviously the strategy, but for how long and when do you think that the bull market's coming, and what's your strategy for what's your exit strategy? You know, are you going to put it up for liquidity, single sided? What are you going to do? You know, what's your strategy going to be? So are we going to see this cycle for a while? Yeah, probably. Like you said earlier, it's going to take a while for these things to kind of iron themselves out, for volatility to go away. And because I mean, right? I mean, think about it. Even people who did the right thing are feeling pain right now, you know, and that's hard. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just the market. It is what it is, you know. And people can blame Richard, or people can blame, you know, Hex itself. That's not the truth. That's not reality. It's not Richard's fault. It's not Hex's fault. It's the market's fault. It's the sentiment and what everybody's done.
The people that sold, curse them.
Yeah, there's a bit of cheating going on, isn't there? Yeah, some people still selling. Don't know how, like 43 said, don't know how you can at these prices, but I guess if you have to, you have to. And surely it's desperate times when they're selling at these prices. But I remember 1.5, 2 years ago, every stream, people were just talking about staking hex, the hex payout every day, and it was probably like 4 hex or something, or maybe 5 per T share. Then we're up to, I think, over 7 per T share now, and this T share rate, is just going to start climbing like crazy, and it's never going to stop. So we've all stopped talking about it, or not necessarily me, but a lot of people have stopped talking about it, but it hasn't stopped moving. So it's only going to keep going up. And if you, like 43 said, if you're holding stakes and other people are ending and not restaking, man, if you've got a 10-year one or something sitting there, that's just going to be, filling up big time, when everyone else is getting out. So yeah, I definitely applaud anyone that can sit and hold tight with a hex stake at the moment. That's for sure.
And that's always been the value. That's always been the value statement. That's always what Richard has said. Those who hold the hardest and longest are the ones that are going to win.
Yeah. But so everyone was talking about long-term mindset. But it just shows how many can actually hold that long-term mindset, because probably 70%, 80% of people that were saying that no longer are on that wavelength. So yeah, there's only a few left, which is bullish for some. Yep. DJ Cryptomatic, no better words than that. We need you to smash the likes, please. Help the algo get more people back here. We appreciate everyone that's come in and said g'day. And where are we? Matty Allen. Yep. Respect to 43. Respect to pretty much everyone that's in this chat, you know, did I say 43 to RG3? You guys and your numbers. I tell you what, Briz, I do know that you blocked me on Twitter, by the way. I did see your block list. Yeah, thanks for unblocking me. No, that was all right. It was a bit of banter. That's all good. He blocked me at one stage. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat here because it's going off. Yep, the Wild SJ is just wanting to get those T-shares. So I think if we well, not even we, but yeah, if you're on it and you've got your mind on the
it really is the opportunity for all the people who missed out on those bigger bags of T-shares. I just quickly, I know we're not supposed to do on-stream maths, right? But I just want to quickly work out what a dolphin position is. You need 940 T-shares for a dolphin position.
Yep.
940 T-shares. So what's do you still have that hex stats today? True Blue,
yep.
or did you close that one?
Yeah, I've got it. 2.6.
It's like 140 something thousand, 140,000.
So 196 per T-share.
196 per T-share times 940. So if it's out for 10 years, it's 60 odd thousand out for 10 years.
Goodness, we could do with some more dolphins.
I've always thought that a staking ladder is a good way to go, for the very reason that you don't know when things are going to be up or down, you know.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Briz was saying that he wants to see the price of Hex go up to 50 cents, then to $1, and everyone starts selling it, and then wait for the SAC address to pump another 400 mil in there and leave everyone behind.
To get up to
$5. If we get to the right place in the bull market where the SAC address, it's Ethereum or whatever, gets there, all well and good, and I think it'll be unbelievable. But once, as we always say, you can't really rely and just trust that that's going to happen. So onboarding and keeping your mind out of that. I think it's always nice for a dream, but if something was to happen or it wasn't there to back us up in the end, we might not get that type of pump.
I mean, like, I've been almost using it as like the sell factor as well to try and get people involved. Like, okay, and the OA wallet's got a couple of $1 billion that they've shown they're willing to deploy, and that can pump the price to the moon very, very easily. And
definitely, it's there's on-chain data and whatever to show that there is something supporting the ecosystem, that's for sure, and always working in the best interest. And I think that's why even with this SEC case ahead of us, there's not a lot that they can get that this money was used for other things, for extravagant things, because it hasn't actually been taken out. So except there's been a couple of movements in the past couple of days that people are talking about, a little bit of movements there, but I think the majority of it is just still sitting there, moved a bit into Ethereum and just going to wait for it to pump. So I think no expectations, as it's always said, but it's looking like it's getting primed to ready to transfer over. If we see that bridge action happen, man, it's going to be good, that's for sure.
Yeah, but is it about everyone else believing as well that we can go to those prices? Because like if the OA pumps it, then everyone can just sell it down straight away, and then we go straight back down. Everyone's got to believe at the same time,
Well, every time it's done that, that's what is exactly what has happened. It's been sold back down. So, I mean, it's just kind of proof of what's going to happen if that does. I never put any value in that narrative. I don't think Richard needs to put a dime in it for Hex to be valuable. I think that we need to get the word out. I think people need to understand what it is. I think that we need to show the retail investor, the person that's out there that needs Hex, what Hex is. And we've got to build tools to make it onboarding easy, to make it simple, to make crypto viable. I think that we need to focus on all of those things versus, whether or not, the OA or Richard or somebody can pump the bags. I put zero value in that, and, even Richard has hinted all kinds of million ways from sideways. Oh, I would love to. Why would I not buy my own coin? Why would I not put value on it? Look at Elon does it. It's called a stock buyback, all that kind of stuff. I've heard him say all those things, but I don't I don't lean into it all. We've got to go out and do the work. We've got to go out there and do all the other stuff that we can do, to pump it. Because that's one of the things I really, don't like is seeing on in social media people, oh, when are you going to pump our bags, Richard? When's Richard going to do this? When's this? And he could do that. And I just hate that narrative. It just feels so lazy to me. It feels like, we've got our work to do. And if that's one of the things that Richard is going to do, that's on him. That's his thing. That's his job. That's his whatever, that's not ours. That's not for us to ask or talk about or anything. In fact, the narrative itself is horrible, to even be out there. So it should be like, let's go do our thing. Let's do our work. Let's focus on that. And let's make this thing pump ourselves. And anything else that happens is cherries on top, whales come in or do whatever. That's on them. But we're the ones that need to go out and do the work and get it done and make it pump and make people excited about it and want to use it. Because Hex hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. It's still the same important product that it was when we first gave it to everybody, when we first started talking about it and showing people what it was, and we moved the needle and people got excited about it and people started staking. And now again, that narrative gone away, and for a lot of different reasons. There's not any one reason why, the brilliance of Hex isn't being appreciated by, everyone. There's a lot of things, but we've got to start fixing those things that need to be fixed. And that's outreach, changing the narrative back to where it was in the beginning, and just, fixing this community and getting it focused on the right narrative. Because there's just so many different narratives out there now and so many different things being talked about. And, and I've been part of, just about all of them because, that's what I do, who I am. I talk to everything that's going on out in the system. But again, we get complacent. And we don't do enough of this, talking about T-shares, talking about the value of Hex, talking about the price of the T-share going up and what it costs to get in right now. All of those things. If we as a crew would have focused on those things, where would we be at? If we were to squash a lot of these other narratives that are out there, and instead of focusing on meme tokens and pegging things and all this other bullshit, if we would have focused on just continuing to talk about T-shares and do that, where would we be?
Yeah, I was drawn in by that because I really believe there's something amazing about the T-share and the whole Hex system. So yeah, that had me, pretty much straight away once I got my head around it. But it is hard as a new on board to get your head around how the actual T-share system works, what it even means. And even when I first came in, watching explainer videos and whatever, it was still took me, a good little while to get my head around it. So I think at the moment people are going to what's easier, and they see probably a bit more value to the upside, or they have in some cases, and that's probably why people are just buying in over there at the moment. Hex is boring for most people. Stake it, sit it there. It means less button clicking. You can't sit there thinking
It's my favorite thing about Hex.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
is my favorite thing about Hex. I don't have to do anything.
Well, I've just been having a bit of a
favorite thing.
Absolutely, yeah. I've just been having a bit of a whinge to myself and others about trying to sort out, tax stuff with crypto, and because over here in Australia, we tend to, well, a lot of us try and do the right thing. But man, all that button clicking, that's created a lot of work in the background. If you're playing around with certain things, but the hex ones are pretty easy. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot to the simple side of it that has a big thing for the upside as well. So
I have like quite a few family members who have 5-year stakes, you know, as their shortest stake. So I'm really hoping before the 5-year mark that things come good. I'm really hoping because you know, they just wanted something. They don't like, and this is the thing about like crypto is like we're all in crypto and everyone's like, oh, we need to do this. Most people don't want a new, like if you're going to trade crypto and do this and do that, that's a job. Like that's an extra thing. Most people don't want that. That's not what they're looking for. They just want something. If they're going to get into crypto, they want something they can just get and then set and forget. I really believe that. I think, you know, there's a certain proportion of people who get into crypto who are they want to you know, they're movers and shakers. They want to trade. They want to do something, and fair enough. That's great. Do that. You know, that's a great way to learn about crypto. But there's plenty of people out there who just want to get something and sit on it for a few years, and at the end of that have something bigger. I'm still of the belief that Hex can do that. I know we're in this downtrend right now, but you know, if you guys look at all the other cryptos, the big cryptos, you know, they've all done that. They have all done that. So I think anyone who's counting out Hex at this point in time, I think you're a bit early, you know, to be counting out Hex. It's a bit early. I mean, how many other things out there have people who are so committed that they're willing to lock things up for 10 to 15 years? Nothing. There's nothing in crypto like that. This is the only one that's like that. This is the only one that has the hard lock for 10 to 15 years. It's unique, right? And that requires a unique set of people with a unique mindset, right? And that's a long-term mindset. Right now, you know, there's a lot of negative sentiment towards this sort of mindset, that it's silly. And once again, I think people should do whatever they want with their money. But I am hoping that in the next 2 or 3 years, that those 5-year stakes that you know, some of my family did, I hope they come good, so that they then turn around and say, this is great. You know, I didn't look at it for 5 years. I see it went down, but it then came back up, and I've done well. So
I think you nailed something, 43. You said, you know, in the beginning, it took a special kind of person to believe in this thing and to stake for 15 years, because it was the whole community at that time, which was very, very small. That was the mentality of everybody. It was like, oh, wait, you don't have a Quattro Cinco? What's the matter with you? Like, you have to have a 5555 stake. I mean, what are you doing? You know, you have to have a singular. Yeah, it was like part of the culture. Everybody was into it. I mean, it was staking T-shares. That was it. We were the only people that were doing it. We were the only ones crazy enough in the crypto space to actually talk about it and get behind it and do all that. And then the bull market came and Hex ran, and we got a lot of people that came in that didn't have that same attitude. They weren't the same people coming around and buying Hex and getting into Hex that got in the first place. It took, like you said, a certain type of mentality person to do what we did in the beginning. And then it took another kind of mentality for people to get in at the top. That was a whole different mentality of people. And some of them turned into streamers. Some of them built whole communities, and they've been getting wrecked ever since. And they're pissed. And I think that's what has happened. You know, I think that's what's happened, is that we've got this whole community of people that came in at a different time and looked at Hex differently when they were, you know, I mean, how much liquid Hex was out there? There was a ton of it. We saw it. We saw staking stop. We saw it come to an absolute screeching freaking halt, you know? And what happened? The narrative went away. Those people got sour grapes, and they've been railing against Hex and staking Hex ever since. And that's people from within the community.
Yep. No, definitely. Hey, Russ here is saying he's home again. I hope that means you feel at home on the stream. So if that's the case, thanks for joining in here. Bitfinesse, this is a good one actually. Bitcoin has the halvening, Hex has the sickening, where the number of Hex required for a T-share makes you sick you didn't stake sooner. And I reckon that's going to happen to some people. So just wait and see. I don't know what's I probably shouldn't leave that one up for too long. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but Jex is doing it for me, saying Dozza might be out of a job. Yeah, cheers. But Dozza's much smoother at it. I'll get there one day. Thanks for the nice comment, though. There is Brizology. Slow down on your comments. I can't keep up with all that.
He's just talking shit. Just ignore him. He'll go away. Just ignore him.
He's just trying to distract me. But I found this interesting, this chart here. So this is, where are we? ROI from launch on selected coins. So take from it what you will, but that's Bitcoin. You got Ethereum there, and we'll chuck in Pulse now. Oh, I'll go Hex. The two hexes. We're still very fresh there. They're not looking good. They're nowhere near as high, but I think this next cycle, and hopefully in the next sort of 6 months, we see them climb up a lot faster and get back up to where the others are. Those big boys, the Bitcoin and ETH. But the one I wanted to show the most was PulseChain. Just talking about how early we are. PulseChain's this tiny little blue line down there. And, compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum that have been here for so long and have such a massive, market cap, we're only just fresh on it. So everyone's jumping around, fighting, throwing their hands in the air, getting punched in the nose, all that sort of stuff, trying to punch others in the nose. And look, we're really just at the beginning. So if I speak on the community a lot, and the sentiment, which is if we, all stay together, we can actually see this out and actually get that climbing up, and it probably even faster than the others again. But if the community's fighting and falling apart, we're only going to go lower. So I love the positive sentiment between everyone here and in the chat, but some of the stuff you see on the socials, and maybe I just need a break from it. But man, it's it's starting to get a bit brutal. That's it.
Yeah, I took a break for a week. And it was great. I'm like, I'm going to take another break for another week. And then I just started poking around, and it's like, just lean into the stuff that's working, the stuff that's good, the people that have the right mentality, and, shut off all the noise, and doing the events and being out there with people that brings it all back around, because like we're going to London here in a couple of weeks, or about a month. Geez, I'm going to be gone for a long time. And we're going to have a big party, and every time we've done a London event, it's just been huge, and the people that come from all over Europe, they come to London. I mean, and the positive attitude and the stories, and it's just cool getting out there and meeting. I hope I get to come to Australia this year. That would be really nice, because I know you guys have all been, just big supporters. You got a big community out there, and I'm hoping I can get out there. That's my hopes, because you guys are all great out there.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. No, we'd love to have you down. That's for sure.
Brissology wants me to debate him. Brissology, you've got nothing to say, bro. Like you're a maxi, and you don't understand markets, you don't understand cycles, and you're getting there though. You just keep coming back, little fella, and you'll be all right.
He's an ink maxi, yeah, that's for sure. So, yep.
Well, he talks about it. Like, I mean, but how much does he really have? Let's go bag for bag, buddy. Let's go bag for bag. Let's see how much. I don't have to talk about my own bags to try and pump them, buddy. Anyway,
it's gold. It's so good. Post my. Oh yeah. All right. I just saw that pop up. Yeah. Post my comments and make RG3 debate them. Yeah. We'll hold another stream on another night where it's just all that banter. That'll be good. That'll be good fun. Yeah. No, that's cool.
We've had a pretty good run, True Blue. Are you thinking of continuing for?
Yeah, I was just going to ask and say that exactly. That yeah, if does anyone have any last words? I think I'm sort of looking to wind it up. And Hexy, what do you got? You got any last words for us, mate?
I'd still be really curious to know what everyone thinks about having 2 hexes. That's all.
Yeah,
okay. I brought it up before and you guys are a bit quiet on it.
I'll quickly jump in there. If you've tried to end a long stake on Ethereum when gas is just at like right now it's really low, so it's sort of like $100 to end a long stake. If you try and end a long stake when the gas prices are higher, you can't end them. So we need PulseChain Hex, right? We definitely need PulseChain Hex. Having said that, whatever's on Ethereum is an immutable contract. It's an immutable contract.
Yeah, so sure. It'll always be there.
People can do what they like. And that's the whole point of these systems. You do what you want, right? But if you're talking about staking, I think it only makes sense to stake on PulseChain because it's affordable to end stake, over the long term, where it's not going to be affordable to end stake at this point in time, unless something changes on Ethereum. But like, that's the whole purpose, that PulseChain was made. It was so that hexagons could stake and end stake without having these massive tax, like gas tax events, and these massive gas tax events in some cases just totally make it not worth ending the stake at all. So, they're my thoughts. I think that, if you're going to stake, PulseChain is the way. And, and I think the price on PulseChain is higher than it is on Ethereum. Having said that, it's an immutable ERC20 contract. No one can stop that contract from existing on Ethereum. So do with that what you want. That is just a fact.
Yeah, I mean, it's like all coins are social consensus, and can the social consensus say yes, we can have 2 coins, two hexes, or the social consensus say this is the true hex? Forget that. That was, but isn't anymore. This is the real one.
Yeah,
now.
The fact that there's still buys and sells on both of them says that people think there can be 2. I think that's what it is. But I think they'll either way the eHex will stay alive, obviously, like everything because of everything 43 said, and it'll probably still have a reasonable run on this next one, I think. But in the way of the future of it, and if you're staking now, or if you're going to unstake in the middle of that and trying to take profit, I'm not sure how much gains you're actually going to get after the gas fees and all that, unless they're huge stakes. So I think the OGs might be able to take some value out, but whether the newer people will, that's my opinion.
Well, my opinion is I think Ethereum's going to fix itself one day. And at that point, none of this talk matters. I think the hex is also going to get very, very scarce one day. And at that point, having 2 of them is not going to matter. And that's when you're going to see things change. That's future. That's what the future is going to look like. You think Ethereum is not going to fix itself? Ethereum's going to fix itself. One day it's going to fix itself. And guess what? When you've got a cheaper hex and you've got it doing the exact same thing, there's going to be some value there. So don't ever count it out. It's the same code. It's not going to go anywhere. At this point in time, yes, PulseChain is the better way to stake. It's the better way to move your value. It's the cheaper T-share, all that stuff. But that doesn't mean it's always going to stay that way. That doesn't mean that things aren't going to change. That doesn't mean that hex is going to get couldn't get very, very popular and become very, very scarce. Therefore, having 2 of them is going to be valuable. So anyway, take that for what it's worth. And as far as Brasology goes, the reason I go out there is so I can pump your bags, bro. It's your bag specifically I'm trying to pump with the PulseChain Tour. So everybody go to PulseChainTour.com, go to London, and help us get that leg surgery for Brasology so he can stretch himself out a few inches and get to 5'5" or 5'6". That's what we're looking for.
I love it.
Because he
Yeah.
doesn't want to sell his Bitcoin to do it. He wants
Yeah.
to dump on your guys' heads, sell his hex so that he can get that leg surgery and get his legs extended.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, and it's another one of those comments. I know he's sitting there having a good laugh right now, but yeah, nothing negative is happening out of what RG3 is doing. It's all for positive, even though his bags are could benefit as well. So could everybody's. So yeah, it's so good that you're out there, and man, it takes some a lot of effort and some guts to be out there so much, and yeah, community effect again. Everyone's rounded up, got together, and putting on these massive events. So you guys are doing awesome. How many shows have you done all up now? Have you lost count yet?
Oh, geez, we lost count on how many shows we've done. But
how many Ks has the bus done, SJ? Not before you bought it, since you bought it.
the
Be
what
interesting
now?
to know. Or yeah,
The bus?
SJ's bus. Yeah.
Oh,
Or has
she toured it around the whole country. I mean, gosh, it was about 9 or 10 stops, maybe even 11 stops, 12 stops. But yeah, that bus barely made it all the way around and then back to Cali where she's staying with it. But yeah, it was something else. The tour's been cool, but the people we've met, the networking that we've built, it's just been great. It's been really tapping in the community that way. Yeah, it's been awesome. So I wouldn't take any of it back. It was, it was, I would have loved to have seen a lot more people at the events. But it was what it was. We did some onboarding. We got to meet a lot of, people that are supporters of PulseChain Hex, and it was really cool.
Amazing effort. And yeah, a lot of people would take a lot from it, learning so much about PulseChain and crypto itself. And through you guys, we know that they're getting good information. They're not getting sold or not sold, shield crap. They're getting taught the right way to do it, and that's what we're all about. So yeah.
And by the way, yes, Splitzology is shorter than me standing up, but when he lays down, he's a little bit taller than me. He's got to lose a little weight. He's working on that.
Gosh. Righto. All right. 43, you got anything else?
Get those T-shares, people. Get those T-shares. They're cheap.
They're cheap.
They are cheap as chips. Cheap as chips. Cheap as chips.
I'm with you. It is it's that time, and looking at the the chart recently as well, it's like back at that zone where once we got a pump from roughly this spot months ago, it was, some people were thinking, oh, they've got their bags now, they're just going to hold on, it's too late to buy, even though it's not anywhere near it. We're just down so low, but we're right back at that zone again where everyone would have felt bad a few weeks after it pumped out of here, thinking they're all the gains are gone. So it's time to, if you're in it and if you got conviction, it may or may not be a good time to be to buying in. But yeah, I want to say thanks to everyone in the chat. You guys are absolute legends. A lot of comments in there today. A lot of banter. We love it. Brizology, don't block me because I didn't put all your comments up. 43, thanks for coming on, being there with us.
Yes, mate.
Always good to see you. And RG3, thank you, mate, coming on from all the way over there. We love having you on here. And Hexy, great work. Thanks for coming on. Your first stream ever. I only did my first one probably about 7 or 8 months ago. But yeah, it's great to have you on, and we'll keep you updated and love to have you on anytime.
It's nice to pop another cherry.
That's exactly right. So good. But yeah, I think I'm going to end this on a little song by this Scott Fraser Harris, who did one about PulseChain. It just shows that anyone that's doing anything to do with pumping PulseChain or putting the word out there is good. Whether it's new streamers, doing these tours, making music, fighting, going out there with logos on. Or even just posting letters like thank you for everyone.
I'm going to say goodbye right now because I've got to take a 13-liter piss. I'll take it.
You do it.
Check you later.
See you.
All right. You do that. I'm going to play this. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, chat. And we'll see you all soon.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now, I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round, but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.
Thanks everyone for coming on. My last words are get well soon, Dozza. Can't wait to have you back, and thanks for trusting me to, steer the ship today. See you all soon. Thank you.